Hey everyone, welcome to our Career Spotlight of the Week. This explainer is a special guide designed to help you explore careers that actually align with your natural abilities, instead of just chasing whatever trend is popular right now. And today, we are taking a deep dive into a seriously powerful, high-demand path, actuarial science. If you've got a knack for numbers, trust me, you are not going to want to miss this. Okay, let's dive right into this. To help families make thoughtful, data-backed decisions, we're going to unpack this career across 6 key areas. First, what this career actually is. Then, what actuaries do day to day. After that, we'll hit the skills required, subjects that help, the future demand, and finally, a really interesting fact about the field. So, backed by insights from Aspire Roots, our whole goal here is to help high schoolers and parents discover exciting right-fit paths. It's all about figuring this out before locking in those big stream selections for 11th and 12th grade. All right, Section 1. What exactly is this career? At its core, actuarial science is the fascinating study of risk using mathematics and statistics. Now, I want to clear up a huge myth right off the bat, especially for the students watching. People often think this is just, sitting in a back room crunching numbers and doing basic accounting. No way. The reality is far more thrilling. Actuaries are basically financial fortune tellers. They predict what could go wrong in the future and then calculate the exact cost of that risk. It's not bookkeeping, it's a dynamic way of analyzing what's coming next. Everything an actuary does boils down to this one thrilling question. What could go wrong in the future, and how much is it going to cost? Let's make this real for a second. Think about your family's fixed monthly health insurance premium. The insurance company didn't just guess that number. An actuary actually studied thousands of medical records, life patterns, and expenses to estimate the precise likelihood of your family making a claim. That amount you pay was carefully calculated to ensure the company can always afford your treatment. Moving to Section 2. What do actuaries actually do? To really get a feel for this, let's look at the daily life of an actuary named Priya, who works at a massive private insurance company right here in Mumbai. And this brilliantly illustrates the day-to-day work. Priya's team is tasked with designing a brand new health insurance product for young working professionals aged 22 to 35. So, Step 1, she dives deep into hospital claim data across major Indian cities. Step 2, she acts like a trend spotter. She notices that young professionals in metros are filing way more claims related to stress, sleep disorders, and lifestyle diseases than 10 years ago. Step 3, she runs complex statistical models to account for these modern patterns. And finally, Step 4, working backwards, she calculates exactly what the monthly premium needs to be to cover those future claims. Fast forward a few months, and that product launches across India. Thousands of young professionals sign up for it to protect their health. And here's the crazy part. Every single rupee of that premium, Priya calculated it. That is the immense real-world impact an actuary has. Their calculations literally shape products that protect everyday people. Okay, Section 3. Skills required. If you're a student sitting there thinking, wow, that sounds like a pretty amazing puzzle, what specific traits do you actually need for this detective-like role? Well, you will absolutely need a love for numbers and spotting patterns in huge sets of information. You also need strong logical thinking, approaching problems step by step without making wild assumptions. Attention to detail is absolutely crucial because a tiny error here can have massive financial consequences. You also have to be pretty comfortable with uncertainty, since you're dealing with the unknown future. And importantly, clear communication skills are must. You'll have to explain your complex math to business teams who might not have your technical background. Section 4. Subjects that help. If those skills sound exactly like you, what should you be focusing on in high school? Here's the course subject blueprint. Mathematics is obviously the bedrock of everything you'll do, but combining it with statistics, economics, business studies, accountancy, and computer science, that is the perfect recipe. Now, don't sweat it if you haven't mastered the whole shebang just yet. The key takeaway is that building a rock-solid foundation in these areas during classes 9 through 12 will swing the door wide open to a degree in actuarial science. All right, Section 5, future demand. Parents, I really want to address you directly here. Zooming out to the macro view, India currently has one of the fastest growing insurance sectors in the entire world. That makes this an incredibly stable and highly respected career path. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer caliber of employers actively hunting for actuaries. You've got life insurance giants like LIC, HDFC Life, and ICICI Prudential. In general insurance, there's New India Assurance and Bajaj Allianz. You even have government bodies like IRDI, plus major banks and reinsurance firms. As more and more Indians buy health, life, and pension plans, the demand for actuaries to calculate those risks is just skyrocketing. Talk about absolute job security. And that massive demand shows up right in the paycheck. For parents looking for immediate financial stability for their kids, a fresher entering the field in India can look at a very strong starting package of between 6 to 9 lakhs per annum. That is a fantastic baseline right out of the gate. But as we look further down the line, it gets even better. With experience, senior actuaries in India are pulling in between 25 and 40 lakhs per annum. And if a student goes all the way to reach that prestigious fellow level or grabs international qualifications, those earnings can shoot even higher globally across the US, UK, Singapore, and Australia. It really is a career that combines deep financial security with long-term growth. Finally, Section 6, an interesting fact about the career. Before we wrap up, I want to share a heavy-hitting anecdote about the global prestige of this field. Listen to this quote that perfectly sums up the core idea of insurance. You collect premiums today for risks that may or may not happen in the future. Do you know who built a massive portion of his wealth on this exact foundation? Billionaire investor Warren Buffett. He fundamentally understood that if the risk is calculated correctly by actuaries, an insurance company will always have more money coming in than going out. So, the next time you hear about a billion-dollar insurance empire, remember, its success was built entirely on actuarial mathematics. So what does this all mean? Actuarial science is one of the very few careers out there where your ability to carefully, logically think about the future is genuinely valued and generously rewarded. So I'll leave you with this question. If numbers come naturally to you and you love solving real-world puzzles, could this be the career worth exploring? Discuss it as a family, look into the subjects, and just see where the map takes you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.